Please, can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yes, that's your screen.
All right.
It's up.
I don't know if I have cleared the person that was asking the question before the call kicked us off.
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So, any other question? So this is arrow function. Like this is one way for you to create an arrow function. And I was going to convert this other one to an arrow function, right? This hello function, say hello. Yeah, so just need to take out this, take this out, and then move this, then put my arrow fat key. In JavaScript, I think we call it is it the fat I key, something. I think it's fat key also. Is it fat? I don't know. Let me see what I'm sure. Yeah, so I've just converted this to an arrow function, and you can see I successfully did that in one line. And if I run this, I'm going to still get our results, right? When we called the first time, it was James because we gave it James. And then when I call Esther the second time, when I called the function the second time, I changed the value to Esther. So we got Esther. Hello, Esther. So yeah, that's it. Then on the other side, we have callback functions. We have callback function. So what is a callback function? I had to put an explanation here. So a callback function is a function that is passed or given as an argument to another function, right? And it is executed later on as the code run, or maybe after an operation, excuse me, or maybe after something has been completed, or after a particular thing has been completed, depending on what it is, right? Callback functions are commonly used in asynchronous programming, for event handling, and many other, like functional programming and all of that. So I have an example here where we have a function called greet, and then we have two parameters. One is name, the next one is a callback, right? Now, inside this function, we did something, we have our logic, and then we have a callback function. So we basically called back the function. So this callback here is a parameter. It's standing as the parameter to tell us that anytime we call this function is expecting a callback function to be passed into it. Now down here, we have another function, and the function says goodbye, right? Now, this function, if you see, was not called any other place, but it was passed in as an argument to this first function. So it's basically replacing this callback, or it is the argument that was passed in place of this callback parameter. that this function is expecting. So let's see what that looks like in practice. So that means, or let's even try to use any of these functions we've created before, or both of them. Yeah. For instance, I have say hello function here, and then I have fun function. So let me, so I have this function, say fun. So this fun will take in, let me change the behavior of this function fun. So let's say, want to use this say hello as a callback. Okay, so I want to um so let's say so let's just say action. Let me just say action, comma, and then callback, right? Now, this can actually be anything because this is a variable, right? It's a variable, it's like a variable. So you're just declaring a parameter to show that this function will take in something else here. So now I want to console log. I want to console log. I want to console log say let's I'm trying to use something fun, but I'm actually not really a fun person. So okay, so let's say come on, let's, and then I want to pass if action, right? Okay, so this should happen, right? Plus our callback function, right? So I'm going to pass a callback here, right? Now, the function I want to use as a callback is this function, say hello. So let me just take this out. So that's the function I want to use for the callback. Now, I can now say, so I can now call my fun function, right? Say fun. And the fun that I want is, let's say dancing. Okay, no, let's dance. Okay, let's dance. Let me be speaking English that has meaning. And then I will call our say hello function. Like I will pass it, not calling it now. I'll pass it as an argument to this other function, right? And when I log this, I'm expecting something like, come on, let's dance, James. Okay. So if I run this, I'm going to see, oh, sorry, I put a console log here. So, okay, I put a, do return name here, just to, and say return name. Okay, carry is return here. So I can just say name. Yeah, and the name is James. Okay, so let me see. No, someone gets it. So, okay, let's just say console.log name. Yeah. So yeah, I put in the action that I want to happen, which is because I passed a variable here, a parameter here called action, and then the callback function, right? I say, and the callback, the function I want to call back is this say hello function. So when I run this, I'm getting my come on, let's dance, James. Okay, so this is one way to actually do this. So mind you, I'm using the arrow function now. That's why it's looking like this. That is why it is not looking like the example that I gave here, right? So if you want something like that, we can also rewrite it to look like that, but they're still the same thing. They'll still give us the same results. So yes, that's the callback function. So, and you're going to be seeing like callback function mostly when you start writing tests, because for example, in Playwright or in even Cypress, the test function or the test method, let's call it a method now, actually is a function, right? That takes in two arguments. The first, in fact, it takes in something like this, basically, a string and a callback function, right? So you will see something like test, and then you're going to see string where you put in the title of your test, what you're testing for, and then you're going to be seeing something like comma, and then it takes in a function, like a callback function. And usually you will see something like this. They will just use the arrow function to create it. Yeah. So this is what your test system will look like. It's a function first. It's a function on its own, but then it takes in two arguments. I already explained what an argument is. A string, the first argument. The second one is a callback function. This on its own is a function on its own. So yeah. Then so why, okay, I just added this. So why do we need callbacks, or why would you be having callbacks, or why would you be needing a callback function, or why would you be calling function back inside of a function, basically? So first thing is that it helps ensure code executes in an orderly manner, right? So you might be writing tests, or you might be writing something or writing code, and you have a function that you want to do something within another function, right? You can do you can basically just use a callback, right, to ensure that this particular action now happens before this other one continues happening. So callback functions helps you to achieve that. Another thing is that it helps with handling asynchronous operations. So in Playwright, tests are asynchronous, basically. So you write your tests in like it's basically asynchronous. Because of some features of JavaScript and then some of the features of Playwright as well. So with that, you would need to basically make asynchronous calls, basically. So when you have situations whereby you're fetching, maybe you're fetching data from an API, or maybe you are even waiting for a particular action to complete before something happens, you have to use asynchronous functions, right? So maybe you're writing a function, and then inside that function, you're making an API call, right? So you can actually have a callback function that will just, the job will just be to wait for that particular API call to complete first before the main function picks up what it should do and continue. And when case scenarios where you might want to do something like that is the situation whereby maybe if that API call is not completed, your code might break or your test might fail or something might happen, or that might obstruct what you're doing. So what you want to do is have a callback function that will basically ensure that this operation completes before the other function picks up and does what it wants to do. Another thing is that it helps to actually improve code reusability and modularity. Just like we have seen here, we are able to actually create this code, this function, and then use it inside of another function. And that's how another function can still use it, right? And even this function here too, we can still use it to inside another function. I don't know if that makes sense. Is it me that is writing this line? So yeah, does that make sense? Do you have any question? Any question? Oluwafumike said yes. Please, what are you saying yes to?
I think the years have been there for a while now.
Okay. Okay. All right. Any questions, please? I think that's all for today. Any questions? Any questions? Any suggestions? You can also give me, I don't know who is drawing line for us on the screen. Do you have any questions, please? If you don't have, then let's call it a day. I think the last sessions for this JavaScript course will be next week, and yes. I know that for some people who have never done anything related to coding or programming, it might be a lot of information, but just know that first you can do it basically, and then secondly, try to practice, because the truth is, if you leave this call and you don't try to practice what we have learned, then you would forget, basically. You will forget what we have learned here. In fact, even me that is teaching the course, if I drop it for a very long time and I don't revisit it, I will forget as well. So the key or the bottom line is try to practice, write, even if it's just one line of code, try to write one line of code every day or every hour, depending on your schedule, depending on your time, depending on your thing or what you aim to achieve. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, Mary. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you. You actually just answered the question I was asking myself within, like, can I do this? Because
Yes, you
it is
can.
well.
Yes,
Thank you.
you
Thank
can.
you for the encouragement.
You're welcome. I'm glad I was able to answer your inner question. It's like the Holy Spirit
Okay,
direct.
so
Yeah.
Mary, please, if we need to push this to our GitHub, is it still the same method that
Yes.
we're using? Oh, okay.
Yes. It doesn't change. Even when you start working, if you want to push your code to GitHub, or maybe you have to pull their repository now. If they already have
Yeah,
a thing, this thing, you pull their repository. And then if you have to, like, maybe you are an automation tester, you're contributing to automated test, you have to also add your own test and push, right?
yeah.
It's the same way, basically. It's just those Git commands. But those Git commands are not limited to those ones that we just use, like git pull, git add, git. there are a lot of Git commands depending on what you want to do, right? So you might want to, okay, I might share a link to Git, like different Git and this thing. So you can just read up on your own. Yes. So in a work scenario, you will just have to clone their repo and then create a branch, create your own branch. And there's also a command to do that. And what do I mean by creating it? Just like you making a copy of the main branch so that you don't mess up what they have on main. Create a branch and then do your thing in your branch. And then create a pull request or a merge request to merge or to add it to what they already have in their main branch. And then someone approves it if depending on your company's rule for PR or MR approvals. And then it's added. So yeah, it's just the same way. Okay.
Sorry.
Mary,
Okay.
sorry. I've been unable to download Git Bash on my system. I don't know if I'm not doing something right. And I went to the main website trying to download Git Bash for Windows. I've been unable to do that. It's just telling me, giving me response on the website. Like this website is not loading or something. I don't know if I'm doing something. Oh, sorry.
Okay, maybe we can take a look for maybe I can spare like 15 minutes or so. So let's take a look after this call. Somebody also said something yesterday that I don't know, the lady that said yesterday that she has a personal issue she wanted to reach out to me for. And I said, please reach out. Sorry, immediately after the class yesterday, I just dropped off, and yesterday/today has been so I didn't get to see, and I didn't see your message. So I don't know if you're on this call. If you're on this call, immediately after this meeting, please drop me a message on Slack so that we'll look at your issue too. Then I don't know, somebody else, I think is it Malik or something. I don't know if you're on this call now. I also saw your message on Slack when I came online this evening. So I don't know if you're on this call, but if you're on the call, please try to respond. If you're on this call, please respond. I don't know if the person is here, but if the person is not here, you can probably send a screenshot of what your error is or what your problem is so that I can look at it. Yeah. Any other person that have any questions? Any other person?
Hi, Mary. Can you hear me? Good evening.
Yes. Hi, Alfred. Yeah. Hi, Alfred. Yes, I can hear you.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, I just have what do they call it now? I just want to plead that please, since next week is the last day for JavaScript, can you please share your slide, please?
Okay, yes. Yes, I will. I will. I forgot to share it yesterday. I will. I will share. I think the one I haven't shared so far is the one from session 2 to this section, right? Yeah. I think I already shared
Yeah,
the
I
first
guess
class.
so.
I already shared the first class slide. So I'm going to share from session 2 to, so last 3 sessions now. That's what I'll share it after this call.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other?
Okay. Yes, my own question goes like this. Since next week is the last day for this JavaScript course,
Yeah.
is it just the learning of the language? What about the application with Playwright? I don't know.
Okay, yeah, Playwright's course is starting this month. Can't remember the date, but it starts after this one ends. Did you hear that? Did you get that?
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
Yes, it starts after this one ends. So the aim is to introduce the language that we're going to be using, right? Remember, it's not enough to know how to write tests. You need to have at least a basic understanding of the language you want to use to write the test. So Playwright is a tool. The language we will be using with Playwright tool is JavaScript. Does that make sense? So yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry, Mary.
Yeah.
Okay, someone wanted to say something. Go first. I think someone wanted to say something. Okay, so you spoke about Playwright now. So you mentioned Playwright as a tool. Is it like Cypress tool, or are we just going to be using Playwright? Or after Playwright is Cypress? I'm just asking, Sean.
It's like Playwright, it's like Cypress. It's just like every other test automation, UI test automation tool. Playwright, Selenium, Cypress, they are all the same thing. It's just that Playwright, as it stands now, like has more advantage over Cypress and over Selenium. Do you understand? And it's more like it's the new UI, like it's more like a new UI technology with some, some advantages that it has that Cypress does not have and Selenium does not have also. Do you understand? So because of that, many companies are actually shifting the automation code from Selenium to Playwright, some from Cypress to Playwright. Some are looking for Playwright. Some that have not started want to use Playwright. So yeah. I hope I answered your
Okay,
question.
noted. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, sure, because I see a lot of applications online always about Selenium. So I was just curious about.
Okay.
But you answered my question. Yeah.
You're welcome. All right. I think we'll call it a day, a night, or an evening. Have an amazing rest of the day and a beautiful week ahead. So I might share a task for you to do just to help you practice what we have done so far. At least we've done functions today. We've done control structures. So just for you to practice these things and, play around on your own. Also, I think ANST expects that you do a task that will determine if you will graduate from this particular, what's it called? This JavaScript course. If you will be joining the Playwright training. So you might also want to try to practice this so that when you are giving the assessment or this, you will be able to do well. All right. See you guys next week. Have a beautiful day. Bye.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great
Do enjoy the
week
rest of the
ahead.
day.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.